Mohammed Usman combs and taps the half-finished woolen carpet on his handloom, a craft he learnt in his hometown of Mazar-e-Sharif in northern Afghanistan, a craft he's practiced for the past 20 years in a bare-walled workshop in the back streets of Haripur in Pakistan's northwest frontier province. Mohammed Usman is a Turkmen, a community with little sympathy for the largely Pashtun Taliban, and that colours his attitude to the strikes on his native country.
I was hit by the Taliban, I was tortured by the Taliban, and they caused the disaster in Afghanistan. And now I support the American attacks on them.
So you think the American attacks could help bring peace to Afghanistan?
Yes, I do, because they're powerful and they can fight against the terrorists in Afghanistan and they can eradicate them in the country.
Carpet weaving isn't the only local industry which is now dominated by Afghan refugees. I'm at Haripur's main fruit and vegetable market, where well over half the traders come from Afghanistan. In fact, in this district as a whole, where 20 years ago there'd be hardly anybody from Afghanistan, Afghan refugees now make up about a quarter of the total population. Most of them live in Afghan refugee camps, run by the authorities, and, since the attacks in Afghanistan, closed to foreigners. Afghan camp number 6 in Haripur, an array of single-storey brick and mud-built buildings. We were breaking the rules coming here, and we were quickly moved on. The authorities are on edge, anxious to stop street protests and to prevent tension between rival groups among the Afghan refugees. The camp school has been closed indefinitely. Both Turkmen and Pashtun refugees live here, and as some Turkmen boys were telling me of their distaste for the Taliban, Abdul Qadir, a Pashtun from Jalalabad in the east of Afghanistan, pushed through to make sure his views were heard.
امریکای عملو باره کې دا فکر لري چې امریکا د حمله نه کوي په مسلمانانو د ظلم نه کوي او ځکه چې ما مخکې مو ویل چې یو ځل وروس په باندې ظلم کو تباہ او برباد او غریب افغانستان به دوباره د دې باندې ظلم شروع کړی دی.
I want to ask the United States not to attack Afghanistan and not to attack Islam because Russia attacked Afghanistan in the past and now America is destroying the country.
But when we saw what Osama bin Laden did to New York and to Washington when he attacked those cities, isn't it right that the Americans should attack back?
نه دا امریکا غو ثبوت نه لري کنه څه ثبوت لري ثبوت به باندې وي چې دغه د سامان لپاره دا کار وکړو موږ ونیو ثبوت نه به ثبوت به باندې دا عمله شروع کړې په افغانستان باندې.
America does not have any proof to prove that Osama bin Laden or his colleagues did carry out these attacks, and now it is attacking Afghanistan without any proof.
Well, we're now heading out of the camp with a police escort, or more particularly a special constable in the front of the car, who's taking us to see the district administrator. Now, we were advised by one of the boys here that we shouldn't go any further into this camp.
Yes, the school watchman Abdullah, he told us, who was a Turkman, told us not to go any further because most of the people who are Pashtuns are very angry and they might hurt you if you go any further into the camp.
So they might just hit out at us because they see us as Westerners and in some way linked to the attacks in Afghanistan?
Sure, certainly, yeah. That's, I think, the mood among the people there.
What did you assess the political mood of this community to be? These are people who left Afghanistan mainly 20 years ago.
The people who are mainly from the north of Afghanistan, the Turkmens, the Uzbeks, and the people from central Afghanistan, and people who speak Persian, Dari, are mainly against the Taliban because they are more kind of educated, but most of the Pashtuns are pro-Taliban who are claiming to be representatives of Muslims and Islam.
After 20 years in exile, the Afghan communities here in Haripur remain sharply divided along ethnic lines. An indication of how difficult it will be to establish a new government in Afghanistan which has the confidence of all the country's communities.